What's up, guys? NBA talk. Last video of the night. There was other games that I wanted to cover, but just at this point, no. Um, this is the Trailblazers versus Houston Rockets game. This was a lot of. Mm, I have a lot of negatives to say about this, but I'm gonna hold back a little bit. Just for another day. Maybe tomorrow I'll just use separate videos of for the Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets. So maybe they could maybe a prediction for the future for them. Um, Houston Rockets won this game, and the funny thing how well I will get into that in a sec. They won 119 to 105 to the Trailblazers. So let me go to the Trailblazers first. They didn't do good closing out this team. The team able to climb up to at least 10 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then just hurt them. They just the Houston Rockets held them down to 12 points while they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. That is bad, and hopefully they could get back up and correct this mistake in the future. So that's all I'm saying, because that's pretty much what was the norm going on in the fourth quarter, and pretty much the only bad part about the Trailblazers tonight, because they were working the Houston Rockets for the most part. So Damian Lillard had a terrible game. Terrible game. Shot 6 out of 20 shooting, 23 points, 7 assists. At the beginning, he was more of a pretty much contributor, like pretty much passing the ball over the place, trying to get his team involved. He still ended up with a terrible game. Still, McCollum had 20 points as well. He had a much better game than Damian Lillard, but that doesn't help still. Mason Plumlee had 10 points. He played good defensively. He had terrible calls against him. Also against Damian Lillard as well. Um, Aminu had 13 points in the starting lineup. Harkless had 11 points, even though he was terrible on the floor still. Henderson, Gerald Henderson had 13 points off the bench. This team had a lot of fouling, like 30 fouls, personal fouls going into them. They got to do better than that. But for the most part, a part of the fouls were just uncalled for, truly, especially against Mason Plumlee when he went for that block against I think Trevor Ariza, maybe. No, Corey Brewer. And then that reach-in foul was unnecessary against Damian Lillard. And also, part of the fouling was against Dwight Howard for that hacker Dwight Howard thing, because this guy can't shoot free throws, which he didn't. It's just that the Trailblazers could not capitalize on that fact. So let me get into Houston Rockets, because that's pretty much one of the few problems with the Trailblazers tonight. That's it. For the most part, they had a much better game for the most part. Not at the end, though. For the most part, the Trailblazers were working the Houston Rockets. Because the Houston Rockets, for the most part, were frustrated. Making so many turnovers in the beginning, unnecessary passing, James Harden ball hogging the ball to death. Patrick Beverley can't guard nobody anymore. He's -6 when he's on the court. Out of all starters, he has a negative. Oh, and Josh Smith too, who I'll get into a sec. Trevor Ariza, gosh, you need to go. Patrick Beverley, you need to go. Josh Smith, you need to go. So let me get into them. So James Harden, 46 points, eight assists, 5 rebounds. This guy was getting to the free throw line a lot. Gosh, man. Uh, I'll I'll do this in another time because there's a lot to go on this. Dwight Howard, 19 points, 13 rebounds, 3 block shots. Terrible free throw game. 3 out of 12 from the free throw line, which is obviously because this is Dwight Howard. Josh Smith, I'm not gonna say nothing. Trevor Ariza, 1 out of 10 shooting, really, and I can't believe he got a plus 16 in efficiency during the when he's on the court. That is weird. Even though he had 5 steals, he was playing defense. He was passing the ball. He had 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Still, gosh. Patrick Beverley with 14. He was terrible defending the ball. Especially, Damian Lillard could have worked this dude many times. McCollum was working this dude many times. Uh, the bench, Corey Brewer had 10 points. Good. And here's where I get into this. Before Jason Terry, the Jet, Jason Terry, before he was on the court, and there's a reason for it. And funny enough, he has a plus 21 when he's on the court. Every time until he came onto the court, this team was terrible. But the moment this guy came on the court in the third quarter, they just shot up. They just ignited, and they started playing good, playing great defense, making the team turn over the ball a lot, causing fouls a lot, because the Portland Trailblazers did 21 turnovers, which is really not unlike them. You know what? I'm gonna hold back because I want to put a video out on the Houston Rockets on this because, geez, this got me mad. I'm more mad than impressed by this team because it takes Jason Terry to help fix your minds up because the chemistry was bad as hell. Gosh. So that's it for me. Houston Rockets win. They move up in the world, and I think they take back the 8th spot again since the Jazz lost tonight to the Spurs. So that's it for me. I don't care if you won. This was just a terrible game.